Hello, everybody. It's Sunday, April 18th, 2021. And I'm just coming to you today with a message mostly about the astrology and what's going on energetically. So I just want to tell you my guides have been, I can tell that they're prepping me for a message that's going to be coming through from them. So I will be getting that here hopefully within the next couple days. Um, but you guys know I like to make sure that it's very clear and precise and that I'm in the right space to be able to receive the transmission that they're giving me. So just know that there's going to be something around secrets revealed and earth-shattering truth. That seems to be the energy that is coming up. I don't know. I don't know if it's like it doesn't feel nothing this year feels like, okay, in April this is what's going to happen, in May this is what's going to happen. It's like this year seems more of like an overarching theme of this is what's going to happen in your earth time year of 2021. So just know that I know you guys have heard me talk about time is different now. Time is almost illusionary. And I know last week I had posted that things almost looked like holographic, like it wasn't real. So there's a lot of weirdness going on with time right now. So just trust that. And if you're feeling that, know that it's okay. And I know some of you are, because when I posted that, I think it was on Facebook the other day, I had quite a few people chime in saying, yes, I'm feeling that as well. So um, that will be coming soon. Again, I don't know what soon means because I'm allowing it to kind of permeate. And sometimes the reason that I need to take time with these messages is the words that we have on this plane don't necessarily match the vibration of the message that's coming through. So I need to really integrate and feel the energy of the message so that I can bring it through clearly. So that being said, know that there's a theme of secrets revealed and earth-shattering truth. Um, what's interesting too is that as I'm getting ready to do this astrology message today, I'm really being led to start with just calming down. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is just take a deep breath, inhale in as big as you can, and then just exhale it out. I'm going to do that for 3 breaths. So inhale in, just exhale out. There's no right or wrong way, guys. We just need to breathe. So inhale in again. And exhale out. And what I want you to do this time is take a deep breath and just hold it for a minute. And in that little hold, I want you to tune in to your heartbeat. And breathe out. And again, let's just breathe in and hold it just enough to where you can tune into and recognize your heartbeat. Feel the rhythm, feel the energy, feel your energy. How is your body formed right now? Do you have erratic energy? Do you have stable energy? And if it's stable, can you calm it down just a notch, slow it down? If it's erratic, know that right now it is safe to calm it down and allow the energy to be in congruency, allow the energy to mesh with and blend into the rhythm of your heartbeat. And again, you guys know right or wrong with this, right? Um, I'm known to have a super fast heartbeat. It just always is. so my heart rate isn't going to be as slow as somebody else's heart rate. Just know that whatever that is for you is right. Okay, so just again, calming down, allowing yourself to take a deep breath and just hear and feel your heartbeat. And just breathing. Whew. Okay, now that we have things calmed down a little bit, I want you to just be in that same space as we go through this message. If you feel yourself starting to get excited or overwhelmed or nervous, because remember, excitement, fear, nervousness, anxiety, all kind of can feel similar. Even though they're different, they can feel similar in the physical body. Okay. The only difference is the way that we're thinking about it when we're feeling the experience. Um, okay. So, what we're dealing with right now is actually overwhelming energy. Okay. So, which is why I needed to have everybody take a breath, calm down, why my guides are saying, just calm down right now. It's really going to be important for us to be aware in this next few weeks. I was going to say weeks, but my guides are saying the next few months. It's really going to be beneficial for us to be aware of ourselves as we go through this next season. Okay. The one thing that I do want to make everybody aware of is when we move into Taurus season, there is a tendency to be bullheaded. Now, we've also, in Aries season, we have a tendency to be like ram our head into things, right? Like head first, let's just do this, let's go for it. And now we're moving into Taurus, which can be bullheaded. So watch for that in yourself. Um, because that can be something that we're dealing with in the overwhelm, and I want you to be aware so that you're not causing the overwhelm yourself by wanting to be in that space of stubbornness and bullheadedness. Now believe me, I get it, you guys, right? So I'm just throwing that out there just so that you're aware of it for yourself, because remember, one of the most important things that is good for us to remember is that we need to be in a space to where we can respond to something instead of just reacting. Okay. You guys have heard me talk about this a lot, being in the, like, how do I respond to what is going on around me, what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing, how I'm even wanting to react. Like, what is this stirring in me? And how can I take a step back and say, wait a minute, I'm feeling really agitated right now. What is this? Instead of just going, I'm agitated. And then you just spew out at everybody else, right? Again, been there, get it. Just telling you that that will be something that will be very beneficial moving through this year. Again, I want to just say this season, but the guides are saying, no, this is something that's this all encompassing overview of what we're going to be experiencing in 2021. So really quickly, I'm going to kind of back up a little bit and just keep in mind that there is a Saturn Uranus dance going on right now. And this is all about the old and traditions, and Uranus is rebels and new energy, right? Um, this is the steady, stable, secure. This is the way we do things with what people call Uranus the Great Awakener. But I'm telling you guys, in my experience, I've actually started calling it the Great Disruptor, because it literally comes in and disrupts everything you know, which then creates the awakening, right? So this is a huge energy. Saturn and Uranus square each other like 3 times in 2021, but also on top of that, Uranus is now in Taurus. From it started in 2018. So most of you that are with me know that about 3 years ago, just shit just started changing. Like there is just no question that things started changing. And in this Uranus and Taurus, Taurus being the stable, secure, this is what life is, this is what I like, this is what I value, this is what's comfortable to me, right? That is all getting an overhaul. And that started a couple years, well, 3 years ago, actually, because it's 2018 all the way to 2026. Just knowing that, like, this is just giving you that permission to say it's okay to be uncomfortable in what's happening. Okay. So that's just kind of a blanket behind the scenes energy that's going on. Um, again, depending on you and where it is in your chart, is you're going to experience that a little bit differently, but across the board, that's the energy. So you can probably take a minute right now and just say, where have I felt the most disruption in my world, in my energy, in my experience, in my life, right? Wherever you're feeling that, whether it's, where you live, the relationships you have, the work that you do, what you like, your friends, like all of any of those areas, and that's not even all of them, but any of it could be all about yourself. Like you yourself could be going through this total overhaul. So wherever this is showing up for you, know that the astrology is backing that up, so it makes sense why you're experiencing it. So again, let's just take a deep breath. And I want to circle back again to a couple months ago when everybody was talking about the grand stellium in Aquarius. That was a big deal because it started this chain of events. And so, for those of you that have been on Patreon or have been in my membership group and you're listening to the things that my guides have been bringing through, you know that that's not just a one time thing. This caused a chain of events to where we're having stelliums in um, all of the different zodiac signs as we move through, right? So this grand stellium has happened in all different kind of signs. So we went from Aquarius to Pisces to Aries, and now we're going to have one in Taurus. So just know, if you guys haven't gotten the free astrology basics that I created, oh my gosh, it's been a while ago. It might be beneficial to grab that. It's again on my website. I think it's under the freebies. I'm going to pause for just a second. Okay, I'm glad I looked for that. I didn't have it in my freebies. So I am going to give you guys the link for that. Just because I do feel like it's a good thing to have just so that you understand some of the basics. Um, because it really does help you understand the things that are quote unquote out of your control. And this is really interesting that my guides are bringing me here because I didn't expect to talk about this today. But there are certain things in your chart that well, let's just back up. Let's not even talk about astrology. Let's just talk about basic life, okay? There are certain, like, I talk all the time, you guys, about you create your reality, and I believe that wholeheartedly. That being said, there are things that are just destiny. There are things that you are just going to experience. There are things that are in the astrology that may make you feel like you need to wait a little bit, or that it's not the right timing, or you may really want to push forward, but the energy is not working with you to push forward. So it's this dance between working with the truth of who you are, knowing that you can create your own reality, having the intuition of knowing when to quote unquote push forward versus when to relax into allowing the changes to happen and knowing then when it is time to move forward. Now, part of that is the intuition that you get from your guides, trusting yourself, learning to really tune into yourself and trusting yourself, knowing when it feels good to push and knowing when it feels good to just take a step back and maybe rest and relax. It's this fine dance, okay? And again, it's in the energy of, okay, where am I at right now? How am I feeling? And what is in the best interest for me right now? So the astrology sometimes does play into that. So again, depending on where this is happening, these transits are happening in your chart is going to make this experience a little bit different for you. Okay. But I do feel like it's good to know a little bit about your own astrology because it is kind of a roadmap. Like I've said this before, I feel like the Bible is our instruction manual, and the stars, the astrology, is a roadmap to help us understand more about ourselves and what God created us to be and the experience that we're here to have in this in this time on this planet. Okay. So that being said, going back to the stellium, the Aquarius stellium, everybody was talking about, and then they all just stopped talking about it. Like I don't understand why the astrologers are not talking about this anymore. But like I'm looking at it as a new astrologer going, holy cow, this is a big deal. We're getting stellium after stellium after stellium after stellium. And they just said that the stellium was a big deal. So why are we not talking about it more? So just know that this can be the energy that you're feeling is not it, like being intense is part of the experience of this year. Okay. Now where we've been the last couple weeks could have been like, oh my God, I totally screwed up. But what, and this is Aries, right? Because Aries is all about me. Like I'm going to jump in, I'm going to go head first, like whatever that is. Aries is I am. So you could be like, oh my gosh, I am just making a mess right now. But here's the thing that I want to really um tell you, because I've had, even myself this last week, I had some triggers that came up and I'm like, what is going on with this? Right. Because I'm like, no, I know where I'm going. I know where my trajectory is. I know what I'm planning. And then I come up with this like trigger, and it took me a minute because there's emotion, right? There was a lot of emotionally charged energy this last week with that new moon on the 11th. And when I sat with that, I was like, what is going on? And my guides were like, this is that. Remember how you tell your clients, like, this is the universe saying, are you sure? So what happens is every time we up level, every time we step into a new paradigm, it's almost like the universe gives us this little final pop quiz and they're like, well, I'm going to throw this at you now. Are you sure you're ready to move past this? Did you really pass this test? Don't be hard on yourself if you fumbled up. That's okay. But you don't have to go backwards and start all over. Just be like, ooh, yeah, that was the am I sure test, right? Which will give you so much clarity into where did I just react out of that old paradigm that I'm so used to for so long. Where did I react? And now that gives me even more of saying, oh, wait, when this comes again, now I know, pause, take a breath, calm myself down, tune back into my heart, ask for your angels to surround you and give you the strength and courage that you need so that you can move forward. So if you're feeling that, don't feel like you're going backwards or you messed up or you didn't do it right or whatever. um it's time to move on. That was just the universe giving like a final pop quiz going, okay, are you sure you're ready to move on? So say, yes, I see where I didn't quite get that right, but I am ready to move on. Don't stay in energy that you've outgrown, everybody. Like, that's like the big message I'm feeling right now. Don't stay in the energy that you've outgrown. Okay, it is time for you to move into divine truth for you. um and you don't punish yourself by going backwards because you didn't get it 100% right. This whole idea of perfection has really been coming up for some reason. Just know that it's like perfectly imperfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing is going to be perfect because that's not what human life is about. Okay. So don't stay in energy that you've outgrown. I feel like I need to just say that so that you really anchor that in. So take a deep breath right now. Exhale it out. Okay, take a breath again, and I want you to hold it and hear your heartbeat. And I want you to hear, don't stay in energy that you've outgrown, and exhale that out. Okay, you are moving into more of your own divine truth. You're moving into more of your own abundance. You're moving more into that next paradigm, that next level for you. Okay. Now, again, as we're moving forward, we need to understand that Uranus is the planet of sudden change. So there will be sudden changes um, that might be happening. Okay. Um, what my guides are saying is we can, okay, this is kind of going back to what I was just saying about you're moving into the new paradigm. We can be hard on ourselves because we know what we did in the past. Don't fall back into that energy of knowing what the past was, because we have to learn to trust the future, and that's coming with this sudden change and uncertainty. Like, it can be hard to move on because we know what to expect from the way things used to be, but my guides have been saying this, we've got to let that go. We've got to get past what used to be. We are moving into new energy, plain and simple. We can't go backwards. Okay, so it's really time to trust the future. The best way to do this, you guys, is build and cultivate that the faith and trust. You've got to have faith and trust right now, right now. I think I said right now, right now. So that was like a double whammy from my guide saying right now, because I meant to say okay, but I heard myself say right now, right now. So right now is the time to choose to live in faith and trust moving forward. The other thing that they had reminded me of is it's like there you're being given during this time right now. And I feel like this has a lot to do with there's this in between the new moon that we just had and the full moon that's coming. So like the 11th through the 26th, we're in this window right now of, don't go back and reopen something that you closed the door on. Like, you moved on from something and now all of a sudden you're like, wait, was that wrong? Should I reopen that can? I threw it in the trash, but should I go dig it out? Like, I don't know what that is for you specifically. Again, you guys, this could be anything. This could be a belief that you have about yourself. This could be a friendship that you know needs to end or you did end and now you're questioning it. This could be um quitting your job and now you're like, oh shit, what did I do? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different ways that this can play out for you. But just know, I know some people are moving. Like, so if you're moving right now, if you just decided, look, we're selling our house or giving up my lease or whatever on the apartment that I have, don't go reopen it. Like, don't go, oh my God, I made a mistake. Go, no, you didn't make a mistake. It's just uncomfortable. Okay. So really be in that space. The other thing that my guides are reminding me of is discernment right now. Use your own discernment. Don't let others, it's interesting because I'd written down, don't let others tell you what you can or cannot create or do, but I'm hearing, don't let others fear you into, right? So this is a should. What were you thinking? Why did you let that apartment go? What were you thinking? Why would you think that? What were you thinking? Why did you give up that job? Right? Don't let them fear you into that, because we need to be in our own power. We need to know that we decide what we can do and what we create. We decide. Don't let others tell you what you can and cannot do or can and cannot create. Also, okay, so this is interesting. My guides are okay, so I'm going to go to the astrology and then I'm going to tell you what my guides are saying. Okay, so I do have notes about the astrology, which is why I'm kind of going back and forth, because I didn't expect this to really be a channeled reading. I really thought I was just going to be talking about some of the astrology, because I haven't done an astro energy update in a while. So there's two squares happening right now, and what a square in his astrology is just something pushing against something else. And there's actually two right now, which is called a T square, which is really challenging energy, you guys. So just know, again, I feel like this T square, these two squares that are challenging us right now, are really challenging us in deep emotions. Okay. The full moon that we're coming into is going to be in Scorpio. Scorpio is about going into the deep. This is Phoenix rising from the ashes. This is the secrets nobody wants to know about. This is the secrets you don't want anybody to know about you. Like, there's so many of these different things, these hidden truths. Um, Scorpio's deep. Okay. There's a T square around that. So this is going to be really challenging energy around emotions. I know there's some astrologers that keep talking about the 27th, but I feel like the 26th for some reason. Um, like, if you can take plan on the 26th, and I don't know why I'm thinking this, because again, the astrologers say the 27th, but I feel like the 26th, like, I really wish it was on a Sunday so everybody could just chill and like have a movie day or something. But really, I do feel like the 26th, just put a note in your calendar or whatever for that day, to just be like, take this day easy. If you have to work, do things for yourself that you like, maybe get the treat that you don't get yourself very often. Like, um, you guys, I'm a coffee drinker, but I'm telling you, if you get yourself a coffee that morning, get decaf. Like, have your regular if you want, but if you get yourself a treat, do it with decaf. Like, I really feel like this is going to be this time is really a good time to look at emotional challenges that are coming up for you in whichever area of your life that's showing up. Okay, because emotions can come up in every part of our life: work, school, kids, relationships, um ourself, anything and everything that has to do with us. Emotions can come up. So again, depending on your personal chart and how this is showing up for you, but you'll know just based on what's going on in your life, like where you're feeling that um emotion. So what my guides are saying is, do you realize you're not the same that you used to be? Do you realize you're not the same that you used to be? So you've grown so much in the last few years. You've done so much work in the last few years. So give yourself some credit there, because sometimes when you're on this ascension path and this awakening, it can feel like this never ending, like, am I ever going to get there? But every time you have an aha moment or a paradigm shift or a new awareness, you just got there. Right? But then it's going to the next level. So don't discount the work that you've already done. Don't get upset if you feel like you have a backslide, or if you get triggered. Like, that happens. Like, don't be hard on yourself. Again, like I said earlier, don't go backwards. You don't have to go all the way to square one. if you had a little trip, like just get back up, dust yourself off and move forward. But don't be like, oh my God, I totally screwed up. I got to go all the way back to the beginning and start over. No, just get up and start where you tripped. It's no big deal. Like, so give yourself credit for the growth that you've had so far. Um, the other thing that I'm hearing, and I think this is really moving into Taurus season, which actually is just in a couple days. I just looked and today's the 18th. I'm so lost on time, you guys. Like I know I've talked about that for probably the last 6 months about how time is just so weird, but this is making sense why they keep talking about your values and standards, because Taurus season is coming up on the 20th. It's Taurus season. So we're in Aries right now as I'm recording this, but we're kind of in that cusp where it's bordering between the two. So we're feeling the Aries energy leaving and the Taurus energy coming in. So it's in that cusp season, the few days between where we're changing signs. What are your values and standards now? I need to add that now. So a couple months ago, well, this would have made sense. Right? In Aries season, who are you now? Like that was one of the things I know I asked that question. That made sense for Aries season. And now the guides are saying, what are your values and standards now? Okay. So again, this is like, back in the day, maybe that was okay for you to buy something that was off brand or whatever. I'm trying to make this very simple, guys. Okay. And that was okay back then because that was where you were at and that made sense. But now you know better. You know that if you pay a little bit more, it's going to last longer, whatever. Right. So now what are your standards now? Don't regress. There's something really important here about not regressing, not going backwards. So be aware of any feelings or emotions that you have in tendency to do that. Um, and the important thing about this is don't let anyone tell you it isn't enough or that it's too much. Okay. Because again, that's other people trying to tell us their values and standards versus our values and standards. So this feels like a really good year to reevaluate yourself and what things mean to you. So what are your values and your standards now? Again, not going backwards, but from now, from today, from right now in your life, what are your values and standards? Um, it's really, you guys, what I feel like is echoing here is boundaries, self-worth, discernment, and really moving forward. And I've said this before, but we have to let go of the past. Now, I know sometimes we've been hit with a little bit of nostalgia. We've been hit with a little bit of whatever, like, but really, okay, this makes sense when my guide started talking about this in 2018 with the Uranus and Taurus for 2018 to 2026. Taurus is all about what we know, like our creature comforts, like the tangible reality of our life. So, be aware of this moving forward and letting go of the past. It's not that you can't remember and have good memories, but you don't want to regress. Okay, there's that word again. So I want you to feel into that word. Like, what would it mean to regress your life right now? Don't regress. Like, it is really time to move forward. You're fully supported by the universe, by God, by your angels. They are here cheering you on. And helping you with that forward motion. It's okay again to have the good memories, but when you have the good memories, try to be in those memories with joy and appreciation and happiness and gratitude instead of yearning and longing and that lack mentality. Like that falls when you yearn and long for what was instead of being excited about what can be, then you're going into lack. Okay. So just be aware of that. Okay. Really, really important to have boundaries, be in the energy of self-worth and really be in discernment and know that forward motion is key. Really what's going to help you in this next month is where you invest your time, your energy, your money, your love, your awareness, your attention, right? Where are you investing all of those things? Time, money, energy, love, awareness, intention, all of those things. Um, It's funny because right now it's Taurus season is all about like our value, our comfortable things like texture, um like that favorite blanket or the fuzzy sweater that just feels so good. And like when you're having one of those days, like just putting on that sweater and getting a cup of warm coffee or tea or cocoa or whatever it is that you like makes you feel comfortable. That's Taurus. So it's the material world. And the reason I'm giggling is because I'm hearing Madonna living in a material world. Like, I feel like that is actually a really good song to think about and then redefine what that is for you now. What is that for you now? Like, not back when that song was popular, the material world, but like, what does that mean for you now? Because we've had so many changes in the last few years of how we want to live life, right? We're really being given this beautiful opportunity. Again, you guys, sometimes the energy feels hard, but if we can switch that mentality of, oh, this is hard to, I have this opportunity, then I feel like you can really work with that energy and be in the space of what do I really like, let go of all of the crap, all of the noise, all of the BS you've been told about what you should have in your life and what you should want in your life and come back into what do you want in your life? What is valuable to you, right? Some of you that have done some of my programs before, you've heard me say it doesn't matter if you want $800 or $8,000. It's what do you want? If you're perfectly happy and comfortable and you enjoy the simplicity and the ease, $800 is plenty, right? That's what abundance is. If you want different things and more extravagant things and maybe you need, more things than somebody else, there's no judgment in that. That means your abundance is going to be at that $8,000 level. There's no discrepancy energetically. It's more about the emotion of how does that feel. Okay, so what does it feel to you? What does your heart value? What do you value in your life? Do you want more of a grocery budget so that you can plan groceries at home, or do you want more of an I need to eat out budget because I enjoy eating out? There's no judgment either way, right? We all get to live our life the way that we want to on this planet in this experience. We get to create the life that we love. We get to create what we want. There's no judgment in what's more valuable to you. Again, going back to eating at home may be more valuable for some people may be more valuable to go and eat out. Either is fine. Stop judging which is right and which is wrong. Trust yourself to know what's right for you. Okay, so again, kind of coming into the non-judgment, but just to kind of tie this up, what are you investing your energy into? And I'm just going to say energy because that blankets everything. That's emotions, that's your physical body, your physical time, your money, your all of the above, right? Your emotions. What do you value? And again, guys, I really do feel like boundaries and discernment are really key. But again, the idea of moving forward, I'm hearing the song now, The Whole New World. Like you can have this beautiful whole new world. And you can start creating it now using the energy of these opportunities of this great awakening or this great disruption, right? There's a disruption in the way that, especially in America, the way that life has been is being disrupted. So you get to choose now. What do you want life to be? Sending you guys lots of love. Use this energy to your benefit instead of getting sucked into the drama. Love you guys lots. Talk to you soon.